show who you are. Good riddance. Is you kidding? Bid the forbidden. As it was written, you overbidding. With the heathens, karma is a bitch, so how you living? Pray for my enemies, unforgiving. Cast the pearls on hog moms and chitlin'. If it's too hot, get your ass out the kitchen. Finger licking good, good looking. Stewing in the stew, I'm cooking. You psyched out, paranoid and shookin'. Shook the table, babes, I'm booking. Get prepared for this ass whooping. Listen to the words being spoken. You were talking, I'm awake and woken. While I'm spitting this, got your spit, got choking. Era up, a glimpse in my world, eyes shut open. Parallel in my mind, I'm chosen. Reverse the time, heart frozen. Antarctica, cold as ice. Casting lots, rolling dice. Mean as nails, I'm nothing nice. They persecuted me like they rejected Christ. Alright. This is Mouth Off with Meika. You're now tuning in to Meika Wash and Mouth Off with Meika, and I got a special guest for y'all today. We got TD, and he's gonna be talking about the misinformation about the mass incarceration or incarceration. I'm sorry.
It's really mass incarceration.
Well, we gonna get into mass incarceration. My mind is wandering right now, but it's about the misconceptions of it, the false impressions of imprisonment. I'm sorry, y'all.
Right.
Trying to get these words together. How you doing tonight, sir?
Oh man, I'm all right. I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm here. How about you?
I'm okay. So I kind of want to get your story. So can you give us a rundown on who you are, how you got to where you at, and then we'll go from there.
Who I am and how I got to where I'm at. My name's Ted, and you want to say how I got here, the actual crime, or you mean like what developed into me becoming in the life of crime to put me in prison?
You could start from the development.
Oh, well, shoot. I mean,
well, okay. Let me make it simple for you. Did you come from a single parent household?
Okay, yeah, okay. I got a story. I mean, so up until the age 12. Oh shit, my neck. Up until age 12, my mother and my father was in a household. I was raised pretty decent in Los Angeles by Koreatown. I was a skateboarder and stuff at one time. My pops was a street dude. Of course, he was somebody in the streets, and he shielded us from that lifestyle. But not me so much. He let me come around to the pool halls and the gambling shacks and stuff that he ran. He left at age 12 when I was 12, moved us to Hawthorne. He tried to turn himself in to prison for 2 years. During them 2 years,
12, he turned himself into prison.
No, I was age 12. He moved us from Los Angeles, moved us to Hawthorne, basically tucked us until he got home for 2 years. That was 1990. So in 1992, he was paroling. You follow me? So, but during that time, I'll say we was there about a month and a half. I was getting up to go to school. There was a man in the bed, somebody else. So, of course, at that age, I was a father. I was, my dad was my guy. And he was a boss from prison. He used to pay the rent from in there, have his friends drop off our money every month, pay. We was in the townhouse until one of his friends spotted this other guy living in the household. Then I started getting questions from him and my pops. So of course my dad didn't like it. Fast forward to when he got out. When he got out, he went to a halfway house. I was happy. He was out since 1992. He had moved us into another place in Inglewood, which my godfather owned, apartment building in Inglewood. So we was there rent free. He gave my mom another chance. She she decided to bring this same guy around again. So my father, of course, I told my father, and it was a rift between me and my mom. So I was getting kicked out of the house. I was getting kicked out of the house at age 12, though. That's when I just fast forward to, because when I first discovered the guy and asked questions, I was starting to get kicked out, locked out the house. You know what I mean? We used to have these little dances at the Memorial Park on El Segundo. She would give me a curfew if I made it a 2 day minute. I heard her lock the door right in front of me. So I had to walk from Hawthorne, dealing with my mother, all the way from Hawthorne to Baldwin Hills. Y'all know where that's the jungles. I walked the whole night because I was locked at the house. So fast forward to when my pops got out, my mother and her boyfriend set it up to where my pops got violated, put back in prison for that whole year. My resentment.
Your mom set up your dad?
Yeah. So, like I said, we was living in an apartment rent free. It was my godfather's apartment building. He used to have an office downstairs. If people are familiar with Hawthorne, it's on Arborvitae, directly across the street from where the Alpha Beta used to be, a big old apartment building. And so we was just put there until my pops got out. My dad, like I said, my pops was the boss. So
what was her beef with your dad that she wanted to put him in prison?
She had a new young man in her life. She didn't want to be married no more to my father, apparently. And she did it in a way where it was a shock to everybody. Like I said, I woke up getting my lunch money out of the drawer like I used to. And it is so crazy because when we moved to Hawthorne, my father left all our old furniture, bought all our new furniture for this up and downstairs house. And, and I woke up to go get some money out the jury, and it was a man in my father's bed. It's so crazy because I was the new kid in Hawthorne, went to UConn Intermediate, and I had just recently got into it with this one little guy named Adrian, AK. They call him AK. He was from Compton. He was a Compton Crip. And I was in blood from the jungles, BPS. So in the classroom, when he asked me where I was from, my homegirl, love her to death, she stopped us from fighting. And I brought that up because me and this guy went from about to fight in science class to the day I discovered this man in the bed. When I was coming to school, went to school on my bike, I'm coming in, and that's when it kind of really started. Like, as I'm coming in, I seen the same dude I got into it with from Compton Crip. He was like, "What's up? What's up?" We was both scared apparently because we was with nobody to stop us. Then we didn't fight. Instead, he was ditching. He's like, "You want to ditch?" Yeah. That was my first time ever ditching. Age 12. My first time ever ditching. I was confused. So I told him what happened. Like, hey man, should I woke up this morning and it was a dude in my daddy house, my daddy bed. I was very fucked up. So he was a real Compton little 12-year-old crib nigga. I'm talking about with the starter coats. I know you remember the starter coats with the hat and all that shit. The whole NWA look. So we just went to his house and he went and got his mama 38. And after school hours, we went back to my house. And when I went in, my mom I'd never forget it. My mom was frying some wings, and the nigga was sitting there on the couch, sitting right when I come in, the stairs right there. The nigga sitting on my daddy couch. So my boy AK Adrian, he goes sit down on the couch looking at him. He got the 38 in his jacket. This dude don't know. He just looking. He waiting for my mama to take the lead. I go in and ask my mama, "What's this? What's going on?" Mind you, every month for like a year, this white man, our daddy friend named Mark, tall white man, he drops off like $2,000 a month to my mama. Hey, here, just for the rent and everything. He give her the update. We went to go see my father in Chino, and so after a while, of course, when this man is seeing like it's a dude there, and then my daddy called like, "Hey man, what's going on with that situation?" But when I go in, I ask my mom about it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping over the place. But when I asked my mom,
you good, brother. I do want to reiterate because let me get this clear. You and AK was gonna fight at first, but y'all became homies. Is that what happened?
Watch this though. I'm gonna fuck you up even more. That's my best friend today. He in Arizona, married for the last 17 years, got kids in Maricopa, and shit. That was one of the decisions I might make when I go home. But shit, he doing well. Still my best friend to this day. So when I asked my mother, what's up with this? She told me to stay out of grown. She said, mind my business. So after that, that's when the game started. Matter of fact, I think a few days later, I think, I was 12. I have a little brother who was 6 at that time. And I heard my mama say, go ask Randy, something like that. That was the man's name. So when I went to go, she heard me tell my little brother, that's not your father. Your father will be out. You know what I mean? She heard me saying that. After that, the game started. I started getting kicked out, locked out the house. Angry, confused, spending the night at people's houses, and shout out to my Hawthorne people, because I have a lot of friends who's like, man, come over here, spend the night. I was the troubled kid, the one who was going through shit. So anyway, we got evicted out of that place in Hawthorne because my dad stopped paying the rent. He was like, shit, I'm not going to be paying the rent for another motherfucker. So we got evicted.
So dude was like a hobosexual. He was living off your mom.
No. He was just he's a no good. He was on GR, green eyed dude, young. My mama wanted him. You know what I mean? So I was just her dude. She just adopted this motherfucker. So
she just adopted a whole nother child, actually.
Basically, spending our little county check on the nigga, all that stuff. At that time, I'm going to remember those townhouses when you go up the stairs, up under the stairs, you got the closet up under there. I'm talking about where my clothes is up under there, not getting washed. I'm going to school sometimes. It's just my clothes not fitting no more. She's not school shopping. What's that? But before my daddy left, I was spoiled. Like shit, we were spoiled. My school shopping, everybody knew my daddy had money. So this is a change. This is a change for a kid. You know what I mean? I'm getting embarrassed. I'm being embarrassed at this time. It's like everybody people going to after school, going to get burritos and stuff. I ain't got no money to, because she just checked out. She running around like a kid, partying with her friends, so shit. Like I said, so then when we get evicted, we get moved to Hawthorne. To Inglewood, to my godfather's place. My dad, being who he is, like, look, man, I can't have y'all homeless. He made a call. My godfather gave us an apartment on Vita, rent free. We there for a few months. Guess who popped back up? The guy. So my godfather owned these apartment buildings. I say it's about 40-something unit apartment building. So he getting word, hey, it's a dude being there, So he has an office downstairs. I never get to be smoking that cigar. When I get on the elevator, I smell it, because I know I'm gonna get some money. Because also dude just hang out with him. He gonna tell me about seeing my daddy, and he gonna give me some money. So one of these days, he just called me in there, and I come down. Hey, what's up, Howard? He sit down. He's serious. Got his cigar on his desk, and he's like, hey man, I want to go see your daddy, man. I'm like, yeah, man, how you doing? He said, y'all ain't been to see him. And I'm like, well, my mama ain't took me. And he said, well, what's up? Is that dude up there? Will that dude be up there? And he looked at me. He's like, you can't lie to your father. I said, yeah, he be coming around. So him and my mama they talk. They talking about she gotta leave, he gotta leave, and they like, okay, y'all gonna leave, but the kids gonna stay. And it's just me and my baby brother. I'm 14 at this time. My big brother like 18, but he done left the house. It was a mess. But me and my mama's relationship turned like enemies. Like, we lived under the same roof, but enemies. Especially now, I'm gonna get up to the setup part. This is 92. My father paroled. Nobody knows it. Nobody knew. We thought he was getting out in 1993, except my cousin. Follow me. My cousin was in the military. He was in Desert Storm. He come off. I didn't know he came back. He just calls me one night and say, be outside. I never forget. This is the year. This is when Mary J. Blige 411 came out. And he got the K5. He come up pulling up with the K5 Blazer. He a military dude, but he's out the jungles too. You know what I'm talking about? So he come up beating, boom, boom, boom. Like get in the car, playing that Mary J. Blige. I never forget it. And we driving. So we going back towards. We jump on the freeway. We headed towards downtown. I'm like, where we going? For what? I didn't even know you was in town, let alone come to pick me up, right? So we drove to a building downtown LA. He parked in the parking lot. He leave. He come back. Oh, he get in the car. I see my daddy hit the corner. It's a halfway house. He didn't got out a year earlier. Yeah, right. So he like nobody knows, but my grandmother, rest her soul. He's like nobody knows. I'm out, this and that, So I said, oh shit, this is shit. He's like, where your mom at? I'm like, they at the house. So he just told me, he's like, well, listen, your big brother, y'all come tomorrow. Come in the morning. Come pick me up. So I call my big brother. Go back home. Call my big brother. I don't tell my mama nothing. And I'm like, hey man, my daddy out. He want me, you, and PJ, which is my younger brother, to come see him tomorrow morning. We go to the halfway house the next morning. We go pick him up. He asked me, what, my mama didn't already got word that my daddy out. So they leave. Oh, you got to see me. I worked on my neck is bothering me. But so she gets word that my father's out. So of course she gets scared, and they go to his mom's house. Over there in the 30s, like off of King and Second Ave by Marla's. I take my daddy over there. We go over there, I knock on the door. I see my mama car. By the way, this car that my mom and this guy driving around with, my daddy bought 2 years prior. Before, it was a little Plymouth Champ, a blue one. And so the car there. The car there, so we know my mama there. I go knock on the door. His little brother, he's my age. He answers the door. I'm like, is my mama here? He's like, yeah. He go get her. My mama come out. By the time my mama comes to the door, I look, my daddy comes already out the car. So he like, come here. She's scared, and he like, woman, don't act like that. I ain't never touched you. I ain't never hit you. Come here. He wants to talk to his wife. What the hell is going on? So here come dude. He come out with his skinny ass, but he brings his uncle with him. His uncle, big old swole dude named Fingers from Harlem. He come out. So my big brother jump out the car. Then dude's mom come out like, don't bring this here. My daddy being who he is, he said, man, I'm not here to disrespect. I just here to talk to my wife. So whatever it was, my daddy pulled my mama to the side, talked to her. He tell us, let's go. We jump back in the car and we leave. Later on that night, my cousin Angel, she calls me and she's crying. I'm like, what's going on? She say, Uncle Paul's back in jail. That's my daddy. I said, what? She said, your mama ain't call. Huh?
The same night?
The same night. That same night. The same damn night. She called me and she says, Uncle Paul back in jail. I said, why, what happened? She said, your mama called his parole officer. So, shit is crazy. So, I'm fucked up. So now he got to go back for another year. What? I've already drawn that line between me and my mom at this point, basically. So they said that my father came over there and vandalized the card shit, the one that he bought, by the way. But it's a little chick next door. It was so crazy. I run into this same chick a few years ago. She's on my Facebook page, just through another person. She lived next door. My big brother used to mess with her. And I never forget, she came and me and her was talking because I went back to that apartment on Arborvita, and she says, what happened with your mama and Randy, which is the boyfriend? They getting into it? I said, why you say that? She said, because last week I was in my room and I heard some windows breaking. And I looked out, it's a little side street. You can look out the side window, see a little side street right there. I think it's called Fur. And she said, and I looked, and it was Randy breaking your mama windows. That's the boyfriend. She didn't already call my daddy parole officer and told them that my dad did it. So they got so scared that they wanted to put him back in jail. So they did. So you can imagine what I was going through. That line was very drawn with me and my mama. I was living house to house.
How is your relationship with your mom now?
It's there, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's well known. It's documented with my wife, with my grandmother. She went to my court date on August 3rd. I didn't ask her to. And my mother is one of them people who should have never had children. She didn't want children. She didn't. But she suffered. She's bipolar. She had a nervous breakdown some years ago. That's why I did try to deal with it, because she broke down and realized she failed as a mother. Hold on for a second, man. Dude, what did you want? Y'all stop throwing rocks at my. You want to be outside? You want to see outside real quick? Look, these dudes throwing rocks at my window. Look, you see that?
Wait a
You
minute.
see him? You see him?
No, I don't see them. Let me make it a solo layout so I can see.
Oh no, don't worry about it. They went back in. They went back in. They went back in. Don't worry about it.
No,
So, let me get. What'd you say?
I said continue.
Yeah. So anyway, so now it's just the streets. Now my gang banging got serious because I was out there, So just started doing crime, and I was terrorized. I was, and as a matter of fact, do you remember that Mac 10 video when he ran out the courtroom on Full Life? I don't know if you remember that video.
I gotta go back and look at it.
Yeah, for those who've seen it, or familiar with it, and I'm not just saying this. He literally did that video after me because I was so messed up. I ended up running out. I got arrested for something. I got arrested for it was a carjacking. But what really happened was I bought a tagged car, and shit, it was tagged wrong. But the car was originally taken by a gun, by force. So I'm a juvenile, but I was grown. I'm selling dope. I pretty much had my own place. I had an older woman. I was 15, and I had a place on 139th and Doty by myself. But I had a girl. She was 19, going to Southwest College, and she got tired of living with her mama. So I put in her name, and I sold dope, and was going to Losing-Her High, and back and forth.
Okay, so let's fast forward. How did you get in prison?
Okay. My life of crime led me to I have family members who married to some Jamaicans, and I became a robber. I'm going across state, town, and all that stuff. So hanging around them, I developed the mindset of everything gets handled in the streets. They said caught in the street, Meika. You have to get caught in the street. In other words, the police come for us, we running, and then we shooting it out. I was in a lot of situations where it almost was possible that these things would happen. Everybody I was with was on the run. And I was into robbing packaging places because that's when people used to be sending weight out and all that shit. Mm-hmm. So we was robbing dope dealers. We was cowboys. We was robbing shit, and I was living good. I was 19. And doing things that most 50, 40-year-old men wasn't doing. They wasn't having what I was having. But I got caught up in robbing a place, and then I was selling pounds of weed to people because I was just knocking off pounds from people. And one of them was a setup. The police came. It was a sting operation, and it turned into a shootout with the police. I got shot in my legs. This was in Culver City. And shit, ended up shooting back at the police. And this is one part of me I ain't never told you. I ended up getting pushed through the system. Now it's kind of covering the mass incarceration thing. I was in preliminary hearing in municipal court. If you know what municipal court is, that's only when they deal with traffic court. Traffic tickets, the DUIs, domestic violence. Their jurisdiction only goes so far. In this municipal court, they gave me a public defender who had me plead guilty to life for attempted murder on the police on my first arrest. I was only in the county jail for probably 60-something days. There was no going to superior court. There was no jury. There was none of that. They never even formally charged me. And I'm telling you some real stuff. But I was so shook up. I didn't tell my family members what day my court dates was. I was lying to them because I knew it was over. I'm like, damn, nigga, you shot at the police and you got caught up with all this weed and stuff. So I didn't have no support in the courtroom. And I had already told, I was just telling them sob stories. So one of my sob stories I told my attorney about when I got arrested was I was transient. I was on the streets, which was a lie. So they must have looked on papers like this 19-year-old transient shot at the police. Let's just ship him in and ship him out. I had only been to court 2 days before they had me plead guilty to a life sentence, and I didn't even touch him. I didn't even touch the man. I got shot.
Did somebody die?
Huh?
Did somebody die?
No. I'm the only one who got hurt in this case. I got shot. He shot me in my legs. I got out the car and ran. He kept on shooting. Just the police. I shot back at him. But in my mind, you know, you fucked up anyway. I'm not getting no advice from nobody. I'm in the county jail. I'm not telling nobody about my case. I had never been arrested as an adult. I didn't know how those procedures went. They were different in juvenile. And I had the attorney that they give me telling me that the best deal I'm going to ever get is a life sentence.
What?
Out of the whole deal. Right. Check this out.
You didn't think to protest that?
No, I didn't know no better. I had no idea. I didn't know no better. The only time I found this is how this went. This is going to trip you out. So, when I accepted this life sentence, no, this is my third court date. It was an arraignment. I'm talking about this is the early procedures. Like if you look at court shows and everything, you see how I didn't even have a preliminary hearing. They didn't even go through it. This attorney came into the attorney room and told me they offering this. And I'm sitting there like this. He said, listen, you got caught with this amount of weed. You tried to hit the police officer. You shot at him. You're a young black man. This and that. This is the best you're going to get. I'm telling you. I said, okay. He left out of the room. It was a brother bailiff. I never forget his face. His bald head swollen. He was right there. And I looked, I'm sitting there. I said, that ain't no deal. And he had his arms like this and he went. I said, go get that before I can get the words out. That the bailiff, the sheriff, he was out on his way calling that attorney back. Come here. He called the attorney back. I said, man, Kaiserman, this don't sound like no deal to me. This don't sound like a deal. He said, I'm telling you, he didn't want to sit down. He didn't even give me the courtesy to come and sit down.
Was it a black person or a white person?
His name is Mark Kaiserman. He's a Jew.
He's Jewish.
So he didn't even have the courtesy to come and sit down. I'm like, he said, this is the best. I'm telling you. He did the halfway in and halfway out the door thing. Like, I'm telling you. So I said, all right, man, fuck it. So I accepted the plea. Now all these things I got on transcript, it's a big thing right now. Trust me. So that's why it was a trip that you asked in interview. So when they asked me to accept this plea, I'm telling them I'm only doing it because I'm scared. The district attorney is scared of what? I said, what'll happen if it don't? Because this attorney that told me that I'm gonna get double life. I didn't say this on record, but in my mind, this is why I'm telling them I'm scared. He said, because you get double life plus 37, this and that, your crime, you shot at the police. And remember, the county jail in LA County in the 90s was a motherfucker. People was getting beat up and all kinds of stuff. So he was like, your case with those sheriffs, you want to stay in there that long and this and that. He scared the shit out of him. So
how old were you again?
Huh?
How old were you again?
I was 19.
You're just a baby.
I was 19 years old. Yeah, so, and mind you, listen to me when I tell you this. The only person, the officer didn't even get a splinter during this. The only thing he probably did is his heart hurt, you know, and he was scared. That's the most. You know what I mean? But I ended up with a life.
Are you sure he was scared? Because, you know, that's the cop out, you know.
I'm telling you from the empathy part from my end. This is the most that this man suffered. But I ended up accepting a life sentence for it. Now, it gets deeper than this. So I'm in municipal court. So they're talking about bounding me over to superior court. That's only when they're supposed to accept the plea. A municipal court don't have the jurisdiction to accept the plea. So somehow, watch this, and look up this judge too, because on YouTube it says she's corrupted. She went from her name is Lisa Hart Cole. C-O. Listen to the name, Lisa Hart Cole. Ain't that something?
H-E-A-R-T code.
Coles. It's her middle name. It's hyphenated, I guess. Lisa H-A-R-T Hart. Last name Cole. C-O-L-E. Go to YouTube and look her up. For LA County, Los Angeles County judge. Now,
well, I can't use YouTube because copyright.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. Now, look. So this woman.
Wait a minute, but I can get like sources about this person.
Okay, that's fine. Now
now I see that go ahead. Let me read this first.
Yeah, this woman, she went from one courtroom accepting my plea, and I'm telling her I'm doing it because for one, a judge right then and there is supposed to do more investigating on what are you saying you're scared of. Are you being threatened? She didn't do it. So then they bounded me over to Superior Court, which was never a Superior Court. The Superior Court at the time was Santa Monica. The courtroom I was in was West LA. It's no longer exists. They turned it to LAX now. Instead, they just sent me to another courtroom and had her sentence me too. The same judge. She accepted it. She went to the room as a Superior Court judge and sentenced me. And during this sentencing, I got to tell you something. Before I came, okay, no, let me not, so you can keep up with me. Now, I accepted the plea in the municipal court. I went back to the county jail. My older homeboy from my neighborhood, he said, "What happened in court today?" And I told him, I said, "I accepted the deal." He said, "You accepted the deal for what?" This is the first time I don't talk to people really about my case because my dad was in prison at that time and he was telling me, "Don't talk to nobody about your case." So I said, "Life." He said, "What?" I said, "I accepted a plea for life." And he grabbed me through the bars and he said, "No, that's not a deal. That's not a deal." So he had the sheriff move me in his cell that night. He gave me a legal book, the Georgetown Journal, for me to look up how to withdraw my plea. Because I wasn't sentenced, because that day these devils, they sat me in there and they discussed when they was going to sentence me. They decided, this is on December 5th. They decided, oh, we're going to sentence him to this life sentence on December 26th, the day after Christmas, because they had to go on their vacations and all this stuff. So December 26th, they had me back in court. But by the time they did that night, when they accepted my plea, I was hearing voices. I went to the floor they call 7200, where the crazy people go. I'm in four. They even strapped me in fours for a couple of nights and stuck me in my butt with with something to put me to sleep. I was just waking up to eat, and then they put me back in fours. So by the time I went back to court, because legally you can withdraw your plea if you didn't know what you was really doing.
Real quick, is this the lady right here?
Let me see. What you got on? You got to show me. Yes, that's her. That's her. What is? Let me see. Yes, that's her.
Okay.
Retired. Yeah. See, now look. Oh my God. Where did you find that? I need that. I need that.
What do you need? The picture?
Wherever you got that at, whatever that information, because I got stuff on her. Because listen, and I'm gonna freak you out right now because I was going to get to this. This woman wasn't even a Superior Court judge when she sentenced me. She had only been a judge for like almost a year at this time. My wife did a background check, of course. That woman wasn't even qualified to even give me a life sentence. And guess what? I'm gonna give you a kicker. If you're looking at it right now, she's never did criminal law, never practiced criminal law. She deals with property disputes, illegal evictions, and stuff like that. She was never even qualified to deal with a violent felony. But she did it anyway. So I went to court in front of that same woman with I got a yellow jumpsuit on now. The yellow jumpsuit says you in a psych ward. I was in a psych. And I'll break out my transcripts if you want to see them. I got it right here. They this thing. And I told them,
we don't need that. We believe what you say.
Okay. So when I went into court, before my sentencing, I told my attorney, I don't want this. They don't sound. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was clinging to. Now, so I would like, if I was talking to upload so you can see it. And the judge said, she introduced herself, who the district attorney was, in the matter of my case. And my attorney said, well, my client wants to say something. And on my transcripts, I'm telling her, I said, I didn't know what I was doing that day. I was high, I'm always on my meds. I hear voices and this and that. Now, the proper proceedings is supposed to be, she's supposed to say, okay, they're supposed to give me, my attorney is supposed to give me a psych evaluation to see if I even was competent enough to accept a plea of a life sentence. The woman said, no, I was there that day. You seem to know what you were doing. From my recollection, your attorney went back twice to talk to you about it. And remember, I told you I called him back because I told him I didn't think that was a good plea.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout my transcripts, you'll see me say, I didn't know what I was doing. She kept on sentencing me, and I'm interrupting her. And I'm saying, I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It sentenced me to life anyway.
Wow.
So now my investigation on this woman now and my wife's investigation, we're finding out that this woman had just been a district attorney. She had just became a judge. She was only supposed to be dealing with traffic tickets. She was supposed to just have a preliminary hearing, send me to Superior Court, and let the upper courts deal with it. If you Google it yourself, you'll see that a municipal court has jurisdiction only to sentence somebody no more than 12 months. The woman gave me life.
Wow, that's deep. Now,
Yeah,
okay, so what I can do is this. I can, let me see. Let me make sure before I even say it, because I think I can go to her licensing and it'll show the year she was licensed and for how long.
yeah, and her practices. Look at her practices. She's never practiced criminal law. She's never practiced criminal law. That's not her thing. I'm gonna give myself a podium. Yeah, but you know, she's never practiced criminal, and I'm finding out all this stuff now. You know what I mean? So I've been in here prison since then. 26 years later, I'm still in prison. You know, it's so much stuff that goes. Oh, let me tell you about. Now the question would be, why did they do this? Why did that attorney do that? And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, after I got sentenced, of course, I was angry. I came out the site thing, went to one of the pods, and I started a riot with the Mexicans. Took off on me. He said something I didn't like, and it was on. So I was already in the pod with this dude named SG. He's from Compton Shotgun Crip. I mean, from Shotgun Crip. Just so happened, watch this. The attorney came to see me after I told him I didn't want that plea. He came to see me like a week later. As I'm coming out from seeing him, that dude SG is walking in. So we see each other, we cover him, like, what's up? He's like, what's up? So I look back and I see him go talk to the same attorney. He just got into that riot with me too. So we can talk to each other through the vents. So later on when he came back, he said, hey. I said, what's up? He said, hey man, how much you paying that motherfucker Kaiserman? I said, I ain't paying him nothing. He's doing pro bono work. Now, if you know what pro bono work is, it's kind of like community service for every attorney's office. Even the richest ones got to do some free representation. So I was his hours. So apparently he wanted to just get me in and out. I'm not paying him. The dude SG I'm talking to through this vent, he said, I paid this motherfucker $8,600 and I've been here since 1995, 2 years fighting this case. Now, this man's case was he killed his woman with a 38. He shot and killed his woman with a 38, and he paid the same Kaiserman $8,600. Now, watch this. He's been fighting this case for 2 years. I just told him I ain't paying the man nothing. He coming to see him, and then he came to see me. He must have told him then and there, I got you a deal. Let's fast forward to 2004. I arrive at a new prison. Guess who I run into? SG, the dude from China. What's up, man? Well, they made us cellies. So we're talking. He said, how much time did you end up getting? I said, man, I accepted the plea for life, man. And this is what, 7 years later? And I said, what did you end up getting? He said, oh, I got 14 years with 85%. So what does that tell you what happened? He killed his woman. He got 14 years with 85% a week after they sentenced me to life. And I didn't even touch nobody. He paid the attorney, I didn't. I got swapped out. That district attorney made a deal. I'm gonna give you this life sentence here, but this dude who paid me over here that killed somebody, give him a chance to get out. So that's when we're talking about things that happen in court. That's one of the things. That's why you have all these 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, especially from that era. They was handing out life sentences like candy. Like candy. So, that's how I got here.
Wow, that's deep. Have you ever heard of Khalif Broader?
No, who's that? Oh, is that the young boy in New York?
I think that's yeah.
Yeah, and
They
then
sent
he
him
ended up
to
killing
Rikers,
himself.
yeah, they sent him to Rikers Island.
Yeah. So you watched the 13th.
Shit, I was talking about the 13 before that shit came out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now remember the story about my father. You know, I met Ava. Ava heard about the story about my father, did an investigation, and she ended up coming to see me. Yeah, exactly him. And she wanted to do a documentation on my life, a documentary on my life, because all the things that I went through
Who
and
is she? Who is she?
huh.
Who is she? Who wants to do a documentation on your life?
Ava DuVernay, the director of the 13th. You've seen
Oh,
the documentary, haven't you?
yeah, I seen that documentary.
Okay, yeah, she's the one who made that. She's from Compton. She's out of Compton, and she heard the story about my father, about his brother killing him, and she did the she led it all the way to my father doing time in Lancaster prison. And when she went to go look him up and find out things about him there, remember, like I told you on the phone earlier, my father used to come up and bring people to visit me. So a couple of officers there was like, "Hey, but shit, his son is here." And she was like, "What?" They was like, "Yeah, the guy who got killed, his son is here." So it was a surprise visit, and then she asked more about my life and about my father and about what happened with his brother killing him, and me and him being cellies. And she was like, "Look, I got to tell you a story, But I told her, you know what I mean. I don't want the end of my story being me still in prison. So of course, recently I reached out to her and told her I'm to get out. But that was back in 2015, when that conversation happened. But yeah, that's just pretty much the story. I don't hear swapped out, and of course, it's not over. It's not over. They let me out. It's so crazy, Meika, because this whole thing with Gascon, the district attorney in Los Angeles, seeing all these things, they're pushing my petition. I put in one petition, and 1 minute they told me I didn't qualify for it. They turned it down. And a couple of proceedings happened, and by me and my wife being savvy, we're seeing my court dates. I can show you them. I was having court date after court date. I'm talking about some of them days was back to back. In March and in May, I had 2 court dates 2 days apart, and I didn't know about any of them. They haven't been telling me anything.
How did you find out about them?
Because my wife looking up and seeing if I was on the docket at LAX. Is there any way how can I show you? Can I show you? Because I have it right here. So how would I upload it so you can see it?
You can send it to your messenger. If you can send it to your messenger,
chat?
I'll put it up.
Okay, let me try to show you something real quick. This is how I seen it. Okay, let me see here. Nope, I don't want that. Okay, how do I get to the pictures?
So are you in your messenger right now?
On Messenger or where it says chat with everyone in the studio?
Oh, you can send it there.
But I can't get to the pictures.
Okay, because you're on your phone, huh?
Yeah. I can't get to the pictures. But anyway.
Okay, so look, if you on your phone and you have an Android or whatnot, he left the conversation. I was gonna try to tell him how to do the thing. Hopefully he'll come back on. But isn't it interesting, right? Oh, here we go. Hello.
Yeah, that was my bad. I don't know.
So typically what you can do is you got an Android, right? So if you press down on the button in the middle, I believe, it'll show you multiple screens. Yes or no?
I'm talking about where I can use yours and go to somewhere else. You talking about?
Well, I'm saying like you could open up Google Chrome or your Facebook app while you're on here, and you could just go to the Facebook app, and then you could do the pictures like that.
Oh yeah, I just probably send you because I don't want to mess it up no more. But however, what happened was I had put in a petition last year in November, and it just went busy. They got busy with it, and I think they discovered like, man, this dude got sentenced illegally. So they sent my case to this called it's a unit that Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, made for district attorneys to look at cases when malpractice or anything happened in court. And by my wife calling the court building, talking to the court clerk, we found this out. She said, yeah, they denied his petition, but his case is over here. Gave her a number. She called it, and it was that investigative unit. It was the name of it slipped my mind right now. So right then and there, I said, oh, they see that error. They see why I took that plea and when I was, disputing it. And because that lady she didn't become a Superior Court judge until 5 years later. To become a Superior Court judge, legislature have to elect you. She never went through none of that process, but she handed out a life sentence to a young black 19-year-old kid. And they see that. It's just it's horrible. It's bad, like when I think about it. But anyway, so right now, as of August 3rd, I had a court date. My wife, my grandmother, my brother, even my mother went. And it was crazy because that was the same day that my conjugal visit was scheduled. But we elected not to do it, that we needed somebody to go to court. Because mind you, I was seeing all these court without them telling me anything. It was at least 6. I had at least, this year alone, I was on a docket at LAX for court for at least 5 times. And I wasn't even told anything. My attorney still hasn't contacted me. She talks to my wife. She talks to my grandmother. She talks to my brother. She is yet to contact me. And I talked to a constitutional rights attorney, and he said they don't want to address that. They're just trying to push you through. To the point where on August 3rd, when they went to court, my attorney wasn't even ready. She said she hadn't got my files from the prison. She was planning on postponing, I believe, until they went into the courtroom. My family sat behind her. And when they said in the matter of my case, the district attorney, a lady that was sitting in there, she didn't even talk. They said a man on a damn speakerphone was talking from the district attorney's office. Wow. And he said, in my model, such and such and such and such, we're not opposing this. He qualifies. Everything I ever wanted to hear, to where my attorney looked back at my family and said, oh my God, this never happens.
Ain't it amazing to have a wife that's got your back to that extent? You need to, boy, I do the same thing for my husband. And so, but he never been to prison, but I'm just saying, like, we are researchers. We women by nature, we can investigate some shit.
And that's my nigga.
We gonna know what sin it is. We gonna know
everything.
We gonna know.
I know I'm blessed. Look, I know I'm blessed. Man, mine's she do grunt work. You know what I mean? She's a good woman. She's a director at a medical facility. She live in Vegas. She flies. She just here Sunday. She flies, drives. When that court situation came, she flew. My big brother picked her up at LAX. They went to LAX court, and my brother said she was in there talking to that woman like, "So what are you going to do?" Yeah. So she's something else. You know what I mean? That's why I said I wanted that information, because.
What's that? You might want to put your phone down.
No, that's a fucking. Yeah, that's an MA. He a snitch. But anyway,
he a snitch.
But
how you know he a snitch?
I've been around him. The word is he's an ex-cop, but he's the police. He's the police. He is the other eye. But I play it cool with him. See, I'm the type of person that if I know you can hurt me, hey man, listen, I don't care what they say about you, man. Just leave me out your report.
I know that's
really, right. Because I'm at the end now. You know what I'm talking about? I'm at the end now. Those days of and all that other stuff. I'm beyond it. You know what I mean? I played that game for too long, and I've been in here all my 20s, all my 30s, and half my 40s. Like. The only thing I'm concerned with is getting home and building this life that I got, waiting for me, man. So anything else you want to know?
Yeah, I got questions because he's a cop. How you know he's a cop? I'm curious now because he over there screaming.
Well, but listen. See, the thing is this: when you sometimes you can just observe. When I say a snitch, I'm not talking about snitch on the case out there. Some of these dudes nowadays in prison, these dudes tell for sport. They'll tell to get themselves out of trouble, or just to be able to move around like he's doing. Where he'll do everything the police need him to do, he'll go do it, and to keep his little, whatever he got going on, his little movement. Hey man, this dude over here, this and that. And it's like, sometimes you just look at things like that. And it's like either you're gonna do something to him, or you're just gonna leave him alone or avoid it. This is my second time been on a different yard with the same guy. I believe he told on me before when I was smoking some weed, because he went up there and smelt it. And next thing I know, the cop that know that I smoke weed, and he come right around the corner. Because I seen him come by like how he just came by right now. I was blowing. And you could tell he smelt it, and he left. The officer was in his office. Next thing I know, he disappeared. Next thing I know, the office like he just roaming around that way, and he come up there like, hey man, this and that. But I told him, look, man, dude, I'm in this motherfucker 20-some years, man. Leave me alone. I'm smoking weed. And I ain't doing no other drug. You know what I mean? So anyway, but yes, you deal with stuff like that here. You know what I mean? Despite what people think, prison has really changed. It ain't got soft.
What do you mean by it got soft? How was it? Okay, so how long because let's just let the people know how long you been in there since that day. Just to reiterate.
Since 1998. Since 1998. I first walked into prison, and I was walked in a high desert prison way up north in 1998. And so then
that's 26 years.
It's 26 years. I made 26 years in October being locked up. Yeah.
So what's it like in there? Like if you have to give some advice to the youth or to your brothers who's unknowing, what would you tell them when it comes to what you've learned so far?
In here, or how to avoid here?
In there, how to avoid there? Both, I guess.
This is what I'll say. I'll say this: prison is not like like what you see on TV. It ain't nothing here raping people and stuff like that. That probably happened in the 80s and stuff like that. Nowadays it's more controlled. Like this prison and stuff, it got cameras everywhere. Like if you watch 60 days in. And it's when I say it's soft, the prisoners don't run the prison no more. The guards run it. And with the guard, I said it's no longer where the prisoners run the prison. The guards run this place now. To the point where it's like, they seconds from telling people when the shit, I'm talking about, because the spirit, the rough spirit that we used to have, or is taken out. A lot of the kids that's coming to prison now, they're really not built like that. You know what I mean? To be able to take on or demand to demand respect in here, or demand certain type of food. You see how they feed. I was trying to hurry up and catch you earlier so you can see what they feed us. And the spirit of fighting for your rights is gone in here. That's why I'm on my way out. Yes. What up, bro? Let me grab this real quick. What's up, bro?
While he going to grab that, I want to share. I want to share a screen because I want people to understand. Because he's talking about when prisoners, it's not prison no more. The guards run the prisoners. I'm gonna mute you real quick, brother. But I want you guys to see the panopticon. That's a psychological thing when it comes to prisons. Brother, can you hear me? Hold on, let me unmute his mic. I was just going over panopticon. I don't know if you understand the structure of panopticon, but I learned about this. Huh?
What is it?
Okay, so I learned about this from someone that I knew that was in prison, and he told me to look it up. So the panopticon is a disciplinary concept brought to life in the form of a central observational tower placed within a circle of prison cells. From the tower, a guard can see every cell and inmate, but the inmates can't see into the tower.
Right.
Prisoners will never know whether or not they are being watched. This is a psychological thing.
Hmm.
You know, let me just
Yeah,
show the images
that's cool.
huh?
That's crazy. So where's the, so is this something that's already done, or is this a, oh Lord, where's
That's
this at?
Panopticon, huh?
Oh Lord, that looked depressing. Look depressing. It's damn near like, I'm gonna tell you something. The structure on where I'm looking at the left is damn near like the prison CMC. If you ever heard of San Luis Obispo,
Let me look that
especially
up.
especially that project looking way, like a project. But you know, I'm gonna tell you
Let me
something.
see
You know,
this prison. Let me see. I don't know if they're gonna show me the inside or not. They're not.
you see how those are, see, I was at that prison. Me and my father was cellies at that prison.
Here go the Panopticon. When y'all got that tower and they tint the windows, let me make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that in over there? Oh God.
You want to see? Oh, do you want to see the outside of? You want to see the inside of here? Hold on, I'll show you. Okay. Okay. Can you see out there?
Let me
Can you
just
see?
hold on. Let me go back to the screen. Let me see if I can. Hold on, brother. Okay, it's a little choppy.
Okay.
It's a little choppy. I can't see that.
No.
Go back to where you were.
Can I turn the screen around? No, I can't. I don't think I can.
You can.
How? Let's see.
See, let me mute my mic so I could
I don't think I can. I can't
well
turn it around.
we're gonna work out the technical difficulties. We might have to do a part 2 on this one.
Yeah.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Go back to your cell where you were. Can't barely hear you. Go back to where you had reception.
Where I was at.
Can't hear you, brother. Let me see if I can text him and tell him. Go back to your cell. Let me lock him out and lock him back in because let me just call him because that's crazy. Yeah, he logged out anyway. But yeah, so when you see the what's it, the thing called Panopticon, it's a psychological game where you know that they're watching, but you don't know if they're watching. And then two, it could only probably be one person up in there. And it could be like 1,000 people. I don't know about 1,000, but I don't know how the prison go. But it could be a whole bunch of people in the yard. Mm-hmm. I just want to, we're going to have to end this live because the brother has left the live. We might have to do a part 2. I want to thank everybody that came in and chimed in. And I appreciate the support from all of my followers. Don't forget oh, he's coming back. Okay, because I'm about to end this shit.
You there?
You there?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I was just about to end it. I was like, oh, he ain't coming back, so let me just
No,
end it.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right, that's good. So
Yeah.
I was talking to them about the panopticon and the psychological factor behind it. And see, that's another thing too. And I see why you can get out, because there's a psychological factor when a person is coerced into a submission, which a lot of our brothers and sisters go through. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, if you know better, you do better. And that's some real facts, right? So we here tonight interviewing TD, Ted, because there's a consequence when you don't know, right? But because he found out, now he's going to be able to get out of prison. But look how long it took him.
Right.
So what I want to say is question everything. Question everything. I know you don't want to fight, but you don't have to fight with weapons all the time. You can fight with your brain. You can fight with your knowledge.
Okay, Meika, we probably want to have to do a part 2 to this because I'm being summoned outside.
Any final thoughts? Final thoughts?
Okay. I want to make them to tell them, say a message to everyone. If you have resources out there and find resources, utilize them and take advantage, especially if you're in certain areas where there's gentrification coming and going, because they're trying to lock us up. They're trying to find ways to either move us in certain sections or put us in prisons. You know, the tides turn where Republicans, and when you have Democrats and Republicans going against each other, there's going to be a Republican generation coming, and they're going to be tough on crime again. They might be letting us out right now, but they're going to start locking us up again. And just know this: a trade, find a way to make yourself worth something to be able to financially take care of yourself on the streets, because it's just impossible to do crimes and get away with it now. There's cameras everywhere. There are people everywhere. If you see something, say something. You're not going to get away with it, and you don't want to be in here. You don't want to make the mistakes. If you have kids, if you have sons, daughters, be involved, man. Be involved. Don't neglect, and communicate. You know, because them type of things are the things that I lacked, or I didn't know nobody gave a damn enough. And you can end up in here like this after 26 years. You're talking to a person who, but before this, I had no violent crimes, none, stealing cars. I was a car thief. As far as on record, as a kid, I went from that to, hey, here's a license without even hurting somebody. As a matter of fact, you take some bullets with you. So, like I said, you know, that's just my thoughts for right now. You know, if we can do this another time, I'll be here. But I'm gonna talk.
I know you can't stay on long, so we're gonna cut it short. But I always got time for you. Whenever you're ready, just hit me up, okay?
For sure, man.
Thank you for joining us, and I'm finna end it. And go ahead and handle your business, brother. And we're gonna take care of yourself, campaign Free Ted.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, you have a good night.
You too. So basically, y'all, y'all got the message. I want to give a shout out to the brother Ted for even doing this interview at such a time constraint. Just whatever situation you find yourself in, and you didn't do wrong, man, research it. Research the situation. Don't just take this for an answer. Get on your good foot and do the work, okay? Even if you have to start from the bottom and to climb to the top, do the work. And this is Meika Wash, and this is Mouthed Off with Meika. And shout out to the whole fucking show. Shout out to Paradigm Shift. Shout out to the Craigs and DMG. And this is Meika Wash, and I'm out.
Show who you are. Good, Rick. Is you kidding? Bid the forbidden. As it was written, you overbid it. With the heathens, karma is a bitch, so how you living? Pray for my enemies, I'm forgiving. Cast the pearls on hog, moms and chitlin'. If it's too hot, get your ass out the kitchen. Finger licking good, good looking. Stewing in the stew, I'm cooking. You psyched out, paranoid and shookin'. Shook the table, fades, I'm booking. Get prepared for this ass whooping. Listen to the words being spoken. You were talking, I'm awake and woken. While I'm spitting this, got your spit, got choking. Era of a glimpse in my world, eyes shut open. Parallel in my mind, I'm chosen. Reverse the time, heart frozen. Antarctica, cold as ice. Casting locks, rolling dice. Mean as nails, I'm nothing nice. They persecuted me like they rejected Christ. And show who you are. Good riddance. Is you kidding? Bid the forbidden. As it was written, with the heathens. Casting pearls on hog, moms and chitlins. Sloth, love, gluttony, pride, wrath, and envy. On my neck, literally. 7 deadly sins constantly. So now I gotta take this shit personally. I have no respect of personality. If you ain't with me, then you against me. Mother Nature, but I got allergies, allergic to bullshit. My pedigree to some degree, but I open vision is 4D, portrait focus panorama.